Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Three Dads and a Console. We know not every dad can stay up to date on the latest and greatest in video game news that you need to know about. So we are here to do it for you. Remember, this show is kid-friendly, so no earmuffs are needed. Now on with the show, I'm one of your hosts, Wabba Plays, alongside white t-shirt, plaid pants, Court Lalonde.
Yeah, 100%. How did you know my pants? Oh, I guess yeah, I do wear the same thing. So, for the audio listeners, I wear my PJs on this show because I go to bed after. Because as soon as my daughter goes to bed, I put my PJs on. I'm not leaving the house, so I have my plaid PJs and my white t-shirt that I wear literally every night.
Yup, in his white tees. He slangs on his white tees.
I slang in my white tees.
Right? All up in his white tees. Next, we are also joined by the Hawaiian Punch, Pez.
Honestly, his t-shirt's better.
Thank you.
That was actually good.
What's the crack, mates? It's a hint of pink that you can't really get through on the camera.
A hint of pink.
Yeah. It's got a pinkish hue.
This might have been the first time you both were happy with the introductions, and all I did was just say what I see.
You know,
but that's good.
You know, we're just normal men.
Oh God! Please don't do it! Don't do it! Don't do it! Can someone explain to me why that's funny?
No, I can't. I don't know why.
Because like the amount of times people put that on the internet, and they're like, they put the video of the girl saying it, and I'm just like, I don't understand. I don't even understand the meme. Am I too old? Like what is wrong with me that I don't get it? Audience, someone tell me, why don't I get it? I'll get it.
I find it funny, and I don't know why.
Fair.
So
I said fair.
What do we got today?
Well, we have Jesus. A State of Play has been announced. A Nintendo Direct has been announced. I have been playing a video game. Pez has been playing a video game, and NHL 24 developers listened.
Listen, can I lead off with something that is none of those that neither of you care about?
Sure,
but
no,
I do.
Please don't.
Yeah.
So, as an adult man,
do not. Jesus.
There are few things in life that make normal, well-adjusted dudes happy. Okay, a good drink, a good burger, and anime waifus. Right?
See,
can we all agree on that?
No.
Okay, so thank you for proving my point. So we can all agree. Thank you for being so agreeable. It was just announced that Hatsune Miku is headed to North America once again. Who is Hatsune Miku, you ask?
No one asked.
It is a... Thank you for asking, audience and Core. I'm glad you did. Let me tell you, it is not a real person. It is a hologram. It is a fictional character who sings, and it's a voice bank. And I was supposed to go. The reason why I care so much...
Yeah, that's not the only thing you put in your bank when you're talking about that.
Is I was supposed to go before COVID. I had my tickets purchased. I was going by myself because my wife...
It's funny because it's true.
Fair. Because my wife didn't want to be seen with me there, which is fair. I respect that. And I don't have friends. So
you have
now...
Pez. You have me.
There's no way Pez is going to go to this. He has too much self-respect.
True.
I'll ask him to go to Blink. I'll ask him to go to Sum 41, which I know we missed. But I will not ask him to go to this because... First off, I can blend in because I'm short. Pez. If there's anybody there that knows Pez...
Like,
I still think it's hilarious that I used to think Pez was short. So when we were doing Bruins blogs and all that, and I would always talk to him on the internet, and like he came on the show, we talk, and I had no clue. And then when I met his brother, and I was like, "Oh, your brother's freakishly tall," Pez still didn't say like, "Oh, I'm tall too." And so for the longest time, I didn't think he was tall. And then he posted a picture on Facebook of himself with like a bunny hat on and like this crazy bloody baseball bat, and I was like, the man is a giant.
Yep. Yeah, that was one of my Halloween my Halloween costumes.
What were you?
I was just
a murdering bunny.
A murderous bunny. I was dressed in a work suit, so I was like in a suit, shirt, and tie with I bought a bunny mask at like the dollar store, and I just flicked red paint on it, and I have a Lucille from The Walking Dead. So I walked around with that.
As we all do.
As
right?
one does.
As one does.
So
it's not a real, it's a prop. It's not a real baseball bat with barbed wire around it. But
Why
It
not?
did its job.
Here we go. So yeah, getting us off track early just because I'm hyped. They're coming back, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get my ticket. Next, let's talk about. I know you mentioned the state of play just announced. So
Yes.
it's gonna be indie only. Can I?
Nope.
I don't want to talk
I'll
about.
read you the
what
press
we
release.
received.
Sorry, that is not true.
I have a thought. So,
That's not
before
true.
you read the press release, why do people? Why does Sony always do this? They're like, hey, we care about indies. We care about these games. We want to show you. By the way, we're gonna tell you at 4 p.m. the day before, and you got to be ready. Like it's like they. I'm sure they do care, but they present it in a way where they don't.
100% with you. I'm actually surprised. I
Isn't
still don't
Nintendo happening
understand.
too?
So it will focus on updates to previously announced games. Spider-Man. I'm putting my own words in there. Coming to PlayStation consoles. The state of play will take place on Thursday, September 14th at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, and you can tune in on PlayStation, Twitch, and YouTube. For more information, visit the PlayStation blog. The PlayStation blog says that they're focusing on upcoming indie and third-party releases. But the press release I got from my friends over at PlayStation Canada says that they will be showing other things. Spider-Man. It doesn't say Spider-Man, but we know that they just did a preview event in Los Angeles. That was all over the internet. Good friend of mine, Steve Igvari, got to go. Lucky son of a gun. He had a great time. He hasn't told me anything, but that's fine. I didn't want him to.
Those pictures were cool.
Yeah, I don't want to know because I just want to play the game at this point. But here is my guess. We'll get a bunch of third-party indie games. We'll get a bunch of JRPGs for 100%, right? It's a Sony showcase. We'll get Spider-Man 2. It'll end with Spider-Man 2, and we'll get some PSVR 2. But nothing that we haven't seen before. We're gonna get updates from stuff that they already have. So probably what Final Fantasy? What's
48?
Yeah, whatever it is at this point. And you're gonna get indie games, which are gonna be great. And hopefully, here's my hope out of this: it's a state of play, so expectations are low. I hope we get a great indie game like Artful Escape that me and Pez both love. That's going to be like day and date on PlayStation Plus. Give me a reason. You just gave me a price increase. Give me a reason to jump back in and be okay with all this because the PlayStation Plus games got announced and they're all JRPGs and I don't care. But that's me. I know a lot of people who their announcement this week for Extra was like, everybody was like, this is amazing. And I'm just like, I'll play Civilizations, but the rest of it, I don't care. Like for me. But our friends over at Outright got a Paw Patrol game in there, and that's an easy plat, so everybody's got to go and get that. But
get your easy plats.
I think we're just going to get a Spider-Man 2 trailer, get more hype going around this game, and that's about it. Pez.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts? Do you think anything, or do you rather talk about what you think is going to be at Nintendo? Because I don't know what's going to be at Nintendo, but I'm pretty sure you probably got a little bit of an idea.
I think if they're going to announce anything, if they're going to slip in anything new, which I don't think they will, it'll be like a Horizon PC announcement.
I don't even think. I think that'll be a blog post, dude.
Yeah,
they tweeted out about a VR game?
Yes. No, we're going to see PSVR 2 stuff. 100%.
But like, why would you just tweet about like? I don't know. It's so weird. Like again, they do these things, and I fully believe they care about them. Obviously, they do. But it's done in a way that I feel like minimizes the impact. I have to tell myself that, or else the Vita died for nothing. But like, it's like if someone like there's a cool VR game coming out, and you're doing a great thing the next day, why are you just being like tweeting about it? It's like the same thing I thought of the last showcase. We're gonna show this trailer that has nothing to do with the game, then we're gonna show you an article after. It's just, why am I here? So I hope it's not that. Like it can't let me down any more than the last Sony presentation.
Oh man, it wasn't a state of play. What was it, like a showcase?
No. The showcase where they show you nothing. The show less. But I'm looking forward for all the people on the East Coast who have to drive home from work and get to 5 o'clock is when like the Red Sox drop news that they're trading their best player.
5 o'clock is
the time they hide it.
5 o'clock is what my friend who is Mexican would call white person dinner time.
Oh my god,
that's what she says. Because she streams and I'm like, hey, I gotta go. She goes, yeah, it's white person dinner time.
Do you know when I have dinner? Do you want to know what time I have dinner?
I cook it. We start cooking at like 5:30. Yeah,
I start cooking at 5. Yeah. And I have dinner by 5:15, 5:30 for sure.
Yeah, we're like 5:30. Depends on if it's a soccer night or not because practice starts at 5:30. So, yeah.
I used to eat pre-child. I used to eat dinner at like 9 o'clock. is bananas.
Pre-child.
Yeah, but you don't, dude. You don't eat dinner. So, like, you talking about eating dinner when you really just eat the same thing all day long, 3 meals a day. That's just you putting food in your body. None of it's breakfast, none of it's lunch, none of it's dinner. It's just
chicken
food.
and rice.
Yeah, it's just and no, and peas. Don't forget the peas.
The peas.
And sometimes broccoli.
And sometimes
So
McDonald's
today-
Sprite.
So, oh my god, it's so good if I'm sick. But today I made 2 pounds of taco meat earlier. So now I have taco meat, I have rice, I have peas, which don't it's
Guys, you know what we need to do? I wanna-
taco sauce.
We should go stay at my house, my parents' house in Florida, the 3 of us.
Fine.
And then we have Wabba has to eat whatever me and Pez make because Pez and I
I'm
would
gonna
just
throw
barbecue
up.
things
Oh,
and we just make food and be like, "Hey, we're
Dude,
making
if we're staying in
hamburgers." And
Florida,
Wabba's like,
we'll get a couple lobsters, cook those bad boys up.
"No, there's no lobsters in Florida, dude."
Oh, what a
No,
horrible-
but
what
gonna
a
look at
horrible
the
state.
list.
you know
the
what they
sun.
really got they got like good tilapia and like some like they got some good whitefish out there.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm
I
down.
don't like fish. I had something that you guys
Wabba,
will.
you don't. We're
Dude,
this
we'll
is
grill
an
that
A and
tilapia
B
up, a little bit of
conversation.
lemon,
See
little-
yourself out of
little
it.
lemon, a little bit of
CDs.
pepper.
Dude, do like a little tilapia on the barbecue and just put the tinfoil down and then just salt and pepper and the lemon.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious.
The best.
I had a lunch, work lunch, and my manager said, "Oh, are you gonna get a burger without cheese?" Because they just bully me, and I said, "No, I got chicken pad thai."
Oh, chicken
So
pad
how
thai
much
is
of it
so
did hold on. Can I ask
God.
a question? Because they probably didn't notice, but how much of it did you eat around?
I don't know. I was just I
Did
threw
you
out a
pull
lot.
did you pull the I'm full now?
So I had the noodles, the rice noodles. I had the chicken,
Mm-hmm.
and I had
nothing
the peanuts.
else. Yeah. See, there's a whole bunch of other things that were in it.
What about the rest of the pad thai? You gonna eat any of that?
I just had the
You're just getting chicken. You know
chicken
what?
and
Just
rice
give me
noodles.
a ton of chicken and noodles and just pour peanut sauce all over it, and I'll eat that.
Honestly,
Oh,
if I could have
gosh.
made substitutions, I would have. I'd say don't put any veggies in there.
Yeah.
Just give me the macros.
When I worked,
what we'll do, Pez, is we'll go to the grocery store and we'll go to the was it Publix? Publix, yeah. We'll go to Publix and Wabba is not allowed to come with us. He has to stay at the house and clean, and we get to choose all the meals for all day, every day.
You think
for
I
every
can clean?
for every fish, tilapia, that we're gonna make, we're gonna cook Wabba fish sticks in the
Just
air
give me
fryer.
some
Probably doesn't
chicken
like
nuggets. No, I don't need fish sticks. Give me some chicken nuggies or
Dino
some
only.
bagel bites, dude.
Dude, for God's sakes, do you still eat the dinosaur nuggets?
No, I don't.
Wabba
because
would
they have
ravage my
herniated
freezer
throat.
right now because I stock it for a 12-year-old girl who also eats the same thing after school.
When my daughter became 3 and I started being able to buy like waffles again. Granted, I don't put anything on
waffling
the
about
waffle.
what we're gonna make them.
I just
Got 'em.
eat plain waffles. But yeah. I love how immediately as soon as I said pad thai, you're like, yeah, but you didn't eat the good stuff.
Well, no, because I
Just-
knew what
we
you
knew.
didn't do.
I just knew.
That's come on now. Anytime you tell me what you go eat or go to a restaurant, I know what you actually ate. But you tried to act like you were probably with everybody from work. And like you came home and like Queen's like, so how was lunch? You're like, I ordered pad thai, and she's like, yeah, what didn't you eat though? Like it was out of her mouth. But you tried to like be all like you were probably coming home feeling all bad, and they're like, look, I ate something, and like no one can make fun of me, and then everybody like right around sees right through you.
That and so I get to I pay for them. I have my card, but like what I'll do is I'll look at the bill, and my manager goes, "Oh man, look at him. He was so diligent, doing all the math." And it took me like a few years to be like, I'm just this is for show. I'm not doing math. I'm making the world perceive that I'm doing math, especially making the waiter think I'm doing the math. But I'm not. I'm just looking, thinking about whatever, and then I'm paying.
My
But
man,
the world thinks
my
I'm.
man buys a pad thai, stares at the bill, and just thinks about Hitsune Miku and the concert, and then he's like, "Oh, we'll just do 15%. Are you a 20% tipper?"
Yes.
Yeah.
No, Bob is not.
19.85. Come on.
Yeah, Bob is like, "Oh, it's 12.5. They breathed on me once."
they recommended the specials, which sounded yucky.
Yeah, here's a special. Just put peanuts all over
Yucky.
the chicken.
That is your thing. They're yucky.
They give me the ick.
Ugh.
Give you the ick.
The
Okay.
I just went. Hey, Hatsune Miku review coming to youtube.com/citizens of console.
Nope.
Is
It's
it?
please. It is not.
You're like, don't screw up our algorithm. Uh, what if we get
Like you just said the word review, and then instead of going to something else, you kept going.
if we get a Hatsune Miku
Nope.
game for VR,
Nope, you're still talking about it.
no,
Yes,
I'm
if we do, you
cycling
can
back
do a
to
review
VR.
on it.
Then I get to say nana nana boo boo, stick your head in doo doo.
No,
in the
Because there's a
algorithm.
first game for the first
No one
VR.
cares. If I got the code, it would be like I would try and figure out a way that I could throw it away on you.
Just wait. A hot take. The PlayStation thing at 5 p.m. Eastern time. You're driving home from work. You're listening to it. You're not watching it
No.
because you're driving. Hatsune
No.
Miku VR 2. Pick it and stick it.
Done and done.
Done. NHL. I know we've been talking about a little bit, but not about the big new updates. So, we've talked about NHL a lot. A lot of our audience is NHL 20 whatever fans.
24.
Well, and I was going to say 20. That 24 isn't out. People might not actually be 23 fans, so I had to start what I was saying.
That's fair.
But
They're
trash.
like fans. It's a franchise. Like the fact that you guys pick and choose years just shows me how much you don't like hockey all the time. Whenever I see like these content creators that are only just playing the game, they're not like actually watching physical hockey, and then they're like, or they don't really know much, and they're like, well, NHL 15 was the best, and it's this. Like, come on, man.
it's drastically different. But I will say, so they had the community play test, which people couldn't talk about, but they did anyway. And
It
a
seems
lot of,
that we're all allowed to talk about that now.
yeah, now we can because they're talking about it.
Like
I don't
everybody's
understand.
talking about it, right?
I don't understand why EA is like, hey, you have to sign a thing that says, please don't talk about this. And then you go on Twitter and everyone's talking about it and nothing happens. I would have liked to talk about it. I would have liked to tell you that I liked the icon passing, but I think the controls for the icon passing probably need to be tweaked again. But I couldn't, because if I do it, EA goes, you know what? You signed a thing that says you can't do it. But if, Billy Schlum over there, if Billy Bungus 00648812 over there on Twitter does it, no problems. Not taken down, not taken aback, nothing. EA's just like, you know what, Billy Bungus got me this time.
It seemed like from day one, people were like talking about it. Right, I saw like YouTube videos from like content creators. I was just like, no one was putting up any footage, but everybody was talking about this thing. And then once we did the survey, they were like, hey, that thing that you're not supposed to talk about, well, here's the results from that thing you weren't supposed to talk about, and we're going to talk about it.
It's very different. And I will.
But
how do I put this? I don't hate it.
They
because
listened. They listened.
I like being able to talk about it. So first, big points. So hybrid controls are coming back. Total controls were removed in favor of 94.
Did Wabba like lose his mind out of like happiness to the hybrids? Hey, I don't mind hybrid. I think total control is better. And I think if you give total control a chance, I think you're gonna like it.
So total control
removed because of 94 controls.
So
total control is the new controls that they put in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then they took them out.
No. Wabba's wrong. No, he's wrong.
Yes,
he's
just, and then
Wabba, please stop talking. They brought
Gritty,
back hybrid.
all goalies are being replaced by Gritty.
They did not take anything out. So here's the best part about everything that they're doing on this is they listened, and instead of subtracting, they're only adding. Now, hybrid controls won't be there at launch. Just to give you a heads up, if you read it,
I know.
Hybrid controls are coming at a later date. And as someone that's played a lot of video games, and I know you guys all have, you know what later date means?
We'll see in
later
January.
date. Yeah, exactly. You're not getting it anytime soon. So I would say for those people that like hybrid controls, because Wabba, you're the one who got me into it because I didn't like it at first, but then I was it made more sense. Total control is good. And they're also bringing back NHL 23 goalie controls. So right now they have it so that the goalie comes back into the crease, which I don't know. I guess people don't like it because it helps people. Like, I think that's the whole thing, that these streamers online that are playing the game and they're playing all the time. They're like, well, I can't have it if someone's playing a goalie and he can't be out of the crease so I can score a cheesy goal. I don't like it that the goalie comes back into the crease.
Dude, Terrio is coming center ice like he's Hasek or something and just diving. It's so his play style is so funny.
Those two things there are coming at a later date.
So, but again, we've talked about, like, they haven't in past years. They don't talk about decisions and why they make them, and they certainly don't talk about a pre-launch. This year, the communication has been so good. They're coming out with videos and interviews, and again, some of the interviews are, it's probably like rehearsed questions, whatever. But like, it's good.
Hey,
it's
your best
so
friend
much transparency. I love it. Who? Oh,
Nasher.
not wait. Did he?
Yeah.
It's a big get. It's a big get, lads.
Guys, smell you guys later. I'm famous now.
The one thing I like is I really like the high pressure system, and the fact that they're changing it, because I was noticing that you could leave the zone and come back in. And as someone who plays hockey, that's not real. If you leave the zone and come back in, that does let the defense and everybody rest and get back into position. So I do like the fact that they got rid of that. They changed it by 30%. So like as soon as you take the puck out of that other blue line, boom, your meter starts going down. Plus, if you're not moving the puck when you're in the offensive zone and creating chances and actually doing something with it, your meter doesn't move at all. And if you continue to do nothing with the puck in the offensive zone or in the defensive zone, you get a delay a game penalty because they don't want people ragging the puck anymore. And this is the most amazing thing ever.
I think that's the best change that they have made. 1000%.
Because I know you don't do it, Wabba. Like I've watched you play, and I'm right there with you when I watch you stream, and I hear you when it's 2-1 and there's like 30 seconds left in the game. You call it every time. You're like, the guy's just going to skate around with the puck. And
it makes sense. And so people,
but it doesn't
always,
make they're gonna
no. I mean, it makes sense. Why does it? Because he's not being penalized. But now he's going to be.
2.
Excellent.
If they do it for 5 seconds, boom, it's a penalty.
People are always going to find ways to exploit the current mechanics. So when people are saying, okay, if I just sit in the corner and the guy tries to skill zone me, or like, which basically, stay back, like wait for the react, which honestly I think is fine. You can just wait for the meter to build. And then the goalies were like doing these crazy desperate, like the goalies were like overreacting because of it. And they also tweaked that. So now goalies aren't going to be like, freaking out as soon as you hit pressure and making these crazy saves that puts them out of position.
Yeah, it felt like the goalies, like a real goalie. Yeah,
it felt like the goalies every time were just like trying to be too flashy, but then they're also setting themselves up to just get dunked on because they're over here on the left because they had a dive at like a low, crap shot.
But for a player like myself, who literally is just a dump and chase, get the puck on the net, puck on the net, puck on the net, I'm actually going to be better at this game because that's real. So when I play the game, I always play real hockey. That's why I get frustrated when I watch yourself, Rob. And no offense, I'm not trying to insult. When I watch you, I watch Nasher, I watch Cam, and all them. They don't play hockey. They play the meta of the game to win.
Yep,
there's a big difference. When I watch Pez whenever it's funny. Every year when the game first comes out, Pez will play real hockey, and then by the end of the year, he's playing the meta because he has no choice. But when he first starts playing, he always does an actual power play where he has the defenseman going with the puck and he cycles the puck. No one does that. This new setup and the way they've changed things, they're going to force people to do this, which I love because you can't just skate around with one guy. You literally have to pass the puck around because the new hitting system is one of my new favorites. No more do you just use the stick because the stick just does a shove. Like, let's be honest. You either get a hit or you get a shove and you just got to flip a coin to see what you get. Now, you literally press buttons to do hitting. And man, when I was playing during the playtest, I'm talking about it, I was leveling people. Like, it was like old school NHL 96, 97 Pez when like you could line a guy up and you're like, I'm about to murder you, bud. And then there's nothing you can do about it.
Then you bring
Here comes the train. Choo choo.
Did you guys get the hip checks to work? I never got one.
I got it to work a couple times, but my biggest thing with the hip check is it takes you out of the play, so I didn't want to do it all the time. I always think that way. Like, unfortunately, when I play the game, I think of like real hockey. So I'm like, well, why would I want to do a hip check? It's just going to take me out of the play. And it does now. They've even said that if you want to do a hip check, it's even worse because if you do a hip check, your guy that does the hip check, whether he lays it or not, he's going to be taken out of the play. So you got to make a choice. I do love the reverse check. I think that is sexy.
Good. That means Lucic is going to be part of the meta. Nope. There's no way.
Yeah. What was your favorite thing besides icon passing? Yeah. What was your favorite thing about the playtest?
When I played Chell, so I only played Chell. I didn't go into Hut at all because I think Hut is trash and I don't like it and it's boring. So I played Chell.
They did change it. They have changed it. And I have spoken to the developers. I sent an email. They're going to be giving. So they are going to be doing that thing where if something happened that week, you'll get to play that moment.
That's cool.
That is cool. Wow, but you can say whatever. That is so cool.
I hope I hope the
Matthews
rewards
gets 5 goals against Ottawa again. You have to do Matthews gets 5 goals against Ottawa again.
I hope the rewards are worth it. That's what I hope. I hope it's not just like, hey, do this and get 100 coins. I hope it's like, you know, do this and get, get 5 stars, and after 15 stars you get whatever.
The Bruins legacy jerseys.
Yeah.
Hey.
The $300 legacy jerseys.
I'm right there. I hope they give like the MLB The Show type rewards.
Yeah, give us a little bit of juice. Just don't give us coins. Coins I think are worthless because you got people like Wabba and all the big streamers who are like 500,000 coins in 2 days into it because they're working the market like a bunch of Wolf of Wall Streets.
Well, that's interesting because I wanted to bring that up. Wabba, how are you going to work the market this year now that Xbox and PlayStation markets are the same?
Extortion, mostly.
So they have said, the developers have said that they're not going to allow that type of manipulation of the market.
Yeah, we'll see. So what I used to do is I used to find one player every year. Here's my secret.
Away for free.
But they're not going to be able to figure it out. I'm smarter than them. And you.
Variance.
So I pick a player every year, and I build enough coins up in the beginning. I'll usually get like overnight. I'll be able to just flip. Like for what happens is people will sell the player or auction the players for buy it now at lower than there's buy or sell now price. So basically, it's no risk. So you buy those and then you just flip them for a little bit, and you just little by little. And then what you do is you find a player that people want and you price lock them. So last year I price locked Nugent Hopkins. I was buying him for 800 and selling him for like 24. And I would buy all of them, even if they're at 2100, and I would price lock it. So if you see a player and everything is getting scooped up and it's all the same price, it is me. And
this man,
I don't know, get rocked.
This man is not only thrifting in real life, but he's thrifting in NHL as well.
And then you have, so that's like how I do it. Then you have people like UG Dynasty who just, the man's an enigma.
Yeah, but we're also gonna have
wild.
They're gonna have it so that I could go into the Wabba store and make you an offer on a card that you're selling.
Oh, dude.
But then you're gonna see my name come up asking to buy that for that money, and if you don't do it, wow.
Oh, actual peasant. Asking for a 30% discount.
Unbelievable.
There's no mates rates in NHL. That's gonna be funny.
Dude, until they do like a live series thing, I think with me, I'm really like in the moments, but until they do like a live series thing like they do in MLB The Show, I think they're losing out. Because to keep people engaged, you need to give them a carrot. And live series cards give them a carrot because if the player starts playing good, you can invest that way. It makes the market fun.
Fair.
Not what you're doing, player locking things. Because what MLB The Show would do, you could player lock all you want, they'd burn you and they would change the value of that card because the card would go down and then you would lose money. You'd lose equity. You'd be buying high and selling low real quick.
And well, I don't think NHL would do that because if they stick with what they're doing, which I believe is the sets and how you need X amount of cards or what, like
I think they
overalls. I don't see them changing that drastically. I don't think they would make overalls that would change because then you'd get in a spot where people wouldn't have enough overalls to build the cards they want, and then you would just have
MLB The Show got around that by still doing sets, but those sets just were on the card, not on the number.
Fair, but I just think they're going to continue with events in limited time because that's what they honestly I think they do. They do those cards well. I think the sets sometimes it's
okay. So I'm gonna go around the horn here. Wabba, you first. One improvement you wanted from the playtest that hasn't been done yet.
Now
Pez is thinking.
So you're saying something that I didn't see.
They haven't addressed.
Okay.
That you played and you want them addressed.
So I didn't really play because it wasn't available, but I'm gonna say now is the squad battles better be fun. Because let me say this. Okay, offline content is not fun. I don't find Hut Rush fun. I find it tedious for rewards that aren't very good. I find squad battles to be absolutely boring and pedantic. And I find their challenges to be useless after the first 2 weeks.
Yeah,
it is
shallow and pedantic.
But like people are like, oh man, like I'm gonna grind. I'm gonna get level 10. I'm gonna miss out because Billy Bungus ended up getting a more challenging overall team. and then I'm gonna get 82s in my rewards.
Pedantic.
It's that shows how much I squad battles. Here's how I would make it better, and I've shared this. It doesn't matter. I made a video on it. Give me SB points when I play squad battles, and let me use those points to customize my home arena, so my arena actually feels like my arena, and I'm not playing with the Bruins logo.
That's fine.
Like, or like, especially when I play with the Voltigeurs jerseys, I don't get a Voltigeurs like I'm playing with the Bruins logo all year. Let me customize my build like you do in, I don't know, franchise mode. Ishal, you have the assets. Let me build up squad battle points to use them as well, and give people the packs off, obviously. But that would make me want to play them, make them fun. If I score 10 goals in a period, that game should end and I should get full reward. I don't want to have to sit there and twirl around in the thing until I get, I stun lock the AI and I put my controller down and I go do laundry. Make your offline content fun, because there's, as I've learned, a whole group of people that play that. Look how successful MLB The Show was. I played it for a week and it was kind of cool, and I didn't even play a person. That's what I would say. Make your offline content fun, because what I saw in the test, to me it wasn't. You had one. And the moment it was like, okay, cool, but what did you get? Like Pat said, 300 coins. Neat. I'm never going to touch it. That's the case. So that's what I would say.
For me,
Pez, you're up.
For me, I'm trying to think. I didn't get a lot of playtime with it. My hope was to get playtime with my actual Chell group, but they didn't get playtest codes. But for me, yeah, I know. I was like, hey guys, this game's pretty good. Too bad you guys can't play it. I was the wait times were kind of bungus. I didn't like the way they did drop in. I thought drop ins were kind of bungus. But for the most part, I actually enjoyed it. What I liked about it was, so I strictly played defenseman in Chell, and I found that people were a lot more engaging in using the defenseman as a pivot on offense to move the puck around than just, hey, we're going to skate up the sides and then try and cross crease it. Like, there actually seemed to be a little more puck movement. And I almost strictly play threes just because we have like, 2 or 3 people on the team. So yeah, I found it really enjoyable. I liked the pressure system, but I felt like it was, again, you could just sit in the corner and build that up. That was annoying, so I'm glad they changed it. I just think it's good that they're actually listening, but not only listening, but communicating back to what they've heard, because they will always listen. It's whether they tell us or not that they're actually doing something with our feedback. Because sometimes, you play these play tests and you're like, hey, this didn't work. And the community's like, hey, this didn't work. And then nothing changes. But it seems like, because I believe someone said there's a new there's a new dev team on NHL. It feels like this dev team is dedicated to make it work. So
seriously, the people, right there with you.
The people surrounding this NHL team, and I'll be the first to tell you if it's trash, because I'll just be like, yeah, it's terrible, it's boring, and I'll just go play 23 again. It feels like that they actually want to improve the game and make it better. So I like the changes so far. We'll have to see if EA does what EA usually does in a month after launch. It's completely different. But for now, I like that they're telling us what the changes are going to be. We have expectations when we go into the launch day window of what the game is going to play like. And they're not just these shadow changes, that we're all of a sudden like, hey, wait a second. I left the zone and now my pressure's gone. And people are freaking out about that, because everyone who is extremely online is always mad about something, and they would get mad about that. But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
What they're not mad about? The game you played, Pez.
Oh man, Ak-xolotl. Ak-xolotl is so good. So this game comes out tomorrow. So if you're listening on youtube.com/3dads on a console, you're getting the early scoops. You're getting the scoops, and it didn't break embargo.
Give me the scoop. Give me the scoop.
Scoop. There it is. But okay, so Ak-xolotl is it's a top-down roguelike game. It very much reminds me of Brotato and Vampire Survivors, two games that neither of you will probably ever play.
Yeah. I've seen Brotator, but I've never played it.
Brotator? What are you, in the South? Come here, Brotator.
55 taters.
Hey there, 55 taters, 55 coffees. So it's a top-down roguelike game, almost in the same in the same vein as those two games, but with a shooting mechanic and a roll mechanic of like Enter the Gungeon, where you are a little axolotl and it is your goal to get through all these stages. And it is roguelike because if you die and you regenerate, the stuff that you collected does not come over. There are different paths that you can take. So you can go get, guns, you can go get eggs, and you can hatch new axolotls that will also be part of your team. So you can switch your character basically. And yeah, it's a great game. It's a great little indie game. It's made by a company called, I just had it pulled up. Hold on. Made by a company, it's gone now. It's made by a studio with like, I think it's like 10 people working on it. It's a great art style. I fully recommend it if you like roguelikes. Again, Enter the Gungeon. It's not as bullet hellish as Enter the Gungeon, but the first level, like it's like stage 1 through 1-7. The bullet time is decreased in your enemies. So the minute you beat that, like the second you beat that first level, like you're in, and it is insanity. So I've been playing it strictly on the Steam Deck. It runs beautifully. I was pulled away from Baldur's Gate to get a few hours in with this game, and it's been a blast. So I highly recommend it. I'll be doing a full review on the channel. I can't wait to play more of it. It's a great game. So and thank you to the developers and our boy Woot for hooking us up.
Whoop.
There it is.
I noticed on Steam, it's like one of the top popular upcoming games. I think
Yeah,
they posted a
everybody
screenshot
wants
of that. Like it's getting a lot of hype. So I'm excited. I'm glad to hear that you like it.
I feel
I
bad.
like the art style.
It's interesting because we're lucky enough to get games and stuff, and I see all this stuff, and it's like I'm going to talk about a game that I've been playing, and like we know like Assassin's Creed's coming, NHL is coming, Spider-Man's coming, and I feel Pez is playing a game that probably would not get as looked over as it is right now if it wasn't for like the crazy amount. Think about it. Like Armored Core came out and got great reviews, and like no one's even talking about it anymore because everybody's still playing Starfield. Like there's just so many different things that are coming out. Like you keep seeing these games come out and just great review score after great review score, yet no one's really playing the games.
Well, it's hard. Yeah. It's hard when you have legitimate legit games that people have legitimately waited years for, right? Think about it. In a 3-month span or 4-month span, we got Tears of the Kingdom. That was in May. That was the end of May. Then we got.
How about this one? That game came out. It's not going to win Game of the Year.
It's not. Baldur's Gate should win Game of the Year.
No, I don't think anybody's going to be. I think Baldur's Gate's just going to run shop.
I don't think Starfield is deep.
Nope.
I don't think it's deep enough to win Game of the Year. But Baldur's Gate. If Baldur's Gate doesn't win it, I'll be surprised.
It doesn't have the highest Metacritic and like Open Critic score right now. Baldur's Gate?
98 or something like that. That's insane.
Crazy,
so
man.
End of May was basically a 5-month span. You got that. You got Armored Core. You got Starfield. You got Baldur's Gate.
Sea of Stars got great reviews.
You got Sea of Stars. I was gonna say you have these like little indie games sprinkled in all around that, and then you're still waiting on Assassin's Creed. You're still waiting on Spider-Man. You're still waiting.
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat, I think, is out on Friday or next Friday.
Street Fighter showed up this summer too.
Call of Duty.
Yeah. So like, it is probably one of the best gaming years since like 2008.
Eliza P just got great reviews.
I haven't
even. Isn't that Game Pass? Yeah, it's a Demon Soul game.
And then you have Alan Wake at the end of October. Like I'm looking at it. You have Avatar.
Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I can't wait for that game, by the way.
Which
will be shown tomorrow if you're listening to us on Thursday, which will be shown on you listen to us on Wednesday, which will be shown on Thursday the 14th. My guess is that it is at I had it pulled up here. Hold on.
Is it a normal time? Is it 5 p.m. Eastern?
It is at 7 a.m. Pacific, so 10 a.m. Eastern.
Imagine.
The shock
and
awe.
People.
The shock and awe. So I'll be watching it. My expectation is Super Mario Brothers Wonder, Super Mario RPG. I wonder if they'll talk about any like I know Pikmin 4 came out. I wonder if they'll do any like DLC updates or anything like that. And then hopefully they, probably some smaller titles. I don't think we'll get like, I don't think they'll talk about the Princess Peach game. I don't think they'll talk about any of that stuff because that's probably not coming until next year. So I think a big focus will be on Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Again, it comes out in October. Same day Spider-Man. What? Those two games are launched on the same day. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Spider Bros.
It's crazy. Spider Bros.
The Venn diagram between both of those properties is barely almost a circle.
It is one cylinder.
That's gonna be not wild.
So it's been Ak-xolotl is very, very good. I highly recommend it. Get out there and support your indies. Speaking of young indie developers, Court has been playing the Crew Motorfest from a small company called Ubisoft.
Yes, thank you for Ubisoft providing me a code for review. I have been playing the Crew Motorfest, and as someone that wasn't a car person, but thanks to Forza Horizon, loves himself some arcades, race car games now, I have put over 10 hours into this game, and I can't stop playing it. Ooh. Like, I literally, every minute I'm going in, I'm playing it. It takes place on in Hawaii, and you get to go throughout the whole island. The map is huge. I will say this, there are some pop-in issues that I have noticed, but the gameplay makes up for almost all of it. It is so much fun, I can't put it down. There is a lot to do. You get these playtests as you go through, and each playtest has its varieties. And I even learned about these YouTube creators called the Donut Crew that I didn't even know it even existed. And I've actually even followed them on YouTube, and the guys are pretty jokes. But you have a wide variety of cars. So the first mission I did was the American Muscle, and then they even have a scenic one where you're just going around and taking pictures, but it's really giving to the game. If I had to say there was a thing that I wish that they had, I think they needed a better tutorial for the game, because there's a lot of Ubisoft type tropes in this game of here's this thing on the map, go get it, but they don't tell you about it, and you just have to learn how to do it. But I will say that the driving is extremely responsive, and the haptic triggers are so satisfying playing this game, because when you're hitting if you're trying to take a tight corner and you've got too much gas, when you hit the brakes, it's almost like you're actually pumping the brakes. Like you're trying to slam on them, they'll actually shake in your hand as you're trying to turn the corner, which is so cool. So they've done a very good job with those type of things. I really, really like the cars that they have. I really wish, because unfortunately I have to compare it to Forza as I'm playing. So this is how I would put it. Forza is a better looking game. Mm-hmm. The Crew Motorfest is more fun playing, and I like the controls better of the cars themselves. Forza is very good at showing you and being like, hey, look how amazing this looks with the dynamic weather and such. They didn't do that. I think they spent more time on the gameplay itself and giving you more to do. I put over 10 hours into this game, and I've almost completed, I guess, what would be called the story. As I was saying to Pez, probably think it's about 16 hours to finish the whole story of the game, but that's just the play tests. But there's a lot more to do. There is some online capabilities that can give almost like a battle royal. It's like a destruction derby. You get put into it, and the circle gets smaller, but you're doing a destruction derby with it. So they have a couple of those type things, but there's all these different ways to race your friends and beat other scores and set high scores, and there's other play tests, and then there is a season's pass. Now, like most Ubisoft season passes, the season passes are free, but if you want the other rewards path, you do have to pay for it. So every season that comes out, you can play it and you get the reward. Like the first season that's going to come out, I think the game launches on Friday, and the DeLorean is going to be something. But, thanks to the review copy, it comes with a little bit of cash. I bought the DeLorean. And there is actually a trophy in the game that if you hit 88 miles per hour and then press rewind and rewind the car,
nice,
it pops. And it's like, it's a Back to the Future reference, and it's so amazing. I had to get it. I really popped it today. But I will say this, though, for the trophies, for you trophy hunters out there, they didn't put the tracking on them. And unlike most Ubisoft games, they say, get 20 of these, do 50 of this. I have no freaking clue where I am while doing it. They also don't have it so that I go into the menu to see where I am in these challenges, unless I pin it to the screen as I'm doing the challenge, which... these are quality of life things that they can fix, but the core gameplay itself, the loop, I can't stop playing this game. Like, it is way too much fun, and I can't get over it. They took the Forza model and they even made it more fun. I thought the loop on that was great, but I did think that it took forever to get to one edge of the map to the other. The map is big, but it's not too big. You can get to the one side you can drive the whole map, but you can also fast travel, but you can drive this whole map, and it doesn't take you forever to do it. They didn't need to do that. So I think that, right now, the Crew Motorfest comes out on Friday. I would highly recommend it for anybody that really like Forza Horizon. I think this game is a no-brainer, especially with what's going on right now in the gaming landscape. If you're looking for something different that isn't an RPG, because I feel this year is like the year of the RPG, this game right now will just bring that fun back in and have a great time with it. I think that's my lesson out of this game right now is just fun. Way too much fun playing this game right now. Like all I want to do, like we'll finish here. I'll probably play for another half an hour. I'll go to bed. I'll get up tomorrow. I play for like a bit. I work. Like I get back and I play the game. I'm having a lot of fun with it.
I think my buddy Ride or Die, who does a lot of racing games, I think he in the previous one would have like these car meets with like other players. And like I think that was a cool component because obviously it's like racing, like doing the tempo.
Yeah,
like
there's a lot of
like
upgrades you can do in the car. Like you can put lights underneath it and all that kind of stuff.
It creates like a really cool community aspect, and that's like how he like built his community. He streams a lot on TikTok, and it's just really neat. Like people, I'll watch his streams on there. It's weird. I could watch him on Twitch. I'll watch him on my phone, whatever. But like it's just like people will hop in and like be like, hey, here's my thing, and like he'll show it off. It's kind of cool, and it's something I wouldn't like. I'm not bright enough to have like considered that, but I think it's cool how games like this do that,
and they rewarded players. If you've played previous versions of the Crew, some of the cars carried over.
Oh, that's neat.
So if you've unlocked cars, they carry over, and that's how you unlock cars in the game. They give you money. So yes, there is a system to buy cars like any game, but from what so far, I've been able to just earn money by completing tasks and to buy the cars. Like to buy the DeLorean, I could buy it. I was buying different types of Mustangs. I had like over $2 million after finishing the first 5 play tests. Like it's just, you can earn the money by playing the game and it doesn't feel like I'm grinding as long as I'm doing the little tasks. Like today, my daughter and I were playing right before the show, and because of PlayStation, they just did their new update and you're able to do what I call co-pilot, but it's an accessibility feature so that you can have 2 controllers playing the same person. So we're going to use it a lot for Spider-Man. For this, she just wanted to be the gas and the brake. So I would tell her when to press the gas and press the brake, and we were driving through and just literally going through, and there's these little murals and different graffitis that you have to go up and take a picture of, and we were just driving around doing that together.
Oh, that's awesome.
So there's a lot of little things you can do. There's always something to do. It is a Ubisoft game, so there's going to be always something to do. You also get to drive boats, motorcycles, and planes. I will say the boats are a lot of fun. The motorcycles are super cool with the jumps and such, but the planes, I don't know, man. The controls are just not that good.
Yeah, not great.
No.
Can you get anything sensible? Like, do they have like a Honda Civic?
Yeah, they have all that.
Did they have like a Toyota?
Wabba wants his 1997 Toyota Corolla LZ with like the big with the Wendy's frosty stain on it from that time in high school.
I want
missing right back left tire. It's got the donut on it that it like was never replaced.
But they have some fun trophies as well. Like there's another one where if you do a donut around a pizza, a pineapple. So the one I got for the Back to the Future is We Don't Need Roads.
Nice.
Yeah, it is nice, isn't it? And then there's Unholy Pizza. So if you do a donut around a pineapple, it's called Unholy Pizza. Perform a donut move around the pineapple shop. I've tried to do this and it doesn't work, but I'm gonna have to figure out how to do it.
It's got Tokyo Drift.
Drifting, the best Fast and Furious movie.
The only one. The last thing I wanted to bring up, it's more of a question for you folks. So, and maybe other gaming dads, working traveling dads can relate. I'm going on a business trip next week, so you won't see me, which is good for some of you.
I'm on a business trip the following week.
Oh man, it's gonna be. But I'm gonna bring the Switch. Now I don't really game.
Mario Odyssey, nothing else.
In public, you know what I mean? Like I used to bring my Vita, which the case I have looked like I would get checked every time because the case looks like a different type of case. I'm not bringing the Vita because I just feel like the Switch is, I don't know, has a few more things that I want to play now. The two games I was considering are Mario Kart because it's quick in and out, and Advance War. I'm gonna buy the remaster. But what are your folks' gaming suggestions and recommendations for gaming whilst traveling?
Mario Odyssey.
Why?
Yeah, I can't even think because that game's just so much fun and there's a lot to do. So it's like it could be the one game in your Switch and you're always gonna have something to do and every level's different.
Because what you're a mobile gamer, you got the Steam Deck.
For the Switch, I think Mario Odyssey is a great one. I think the problem with how long's the flight?
3, maybe 4 hours.
So I think you'll get bored easily of Mario Kart after like, a couple you could get bored after a couple cups in Mario Kart because it's like, yeah, okay, I've done this for an hour and a half. I don't want to do it anymore. I would say Mario Odyssey is probably a good one if like the new, even though I don't like it, if the new Super Mario Bros. Deluxe is on sale or you can find it cheap, you can play that because that is basically just like 2D Mario that you could just rip through in like a couple hours. When I work in nonprofit, so we don't travel for business. But when I went on my last business trip was literally the day after the Switch came out, so 2017. So I took Breath of the Wild and I played it for 3 hours on the plane, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So if you want to get like that deep into it, go for it. But if you're just looking for something to play like on the way there and the way back, and you're never going to play again, any Mario game really is going to be good. If you're I don't think you're a Pokemon guy. Are you a Pokemon guy?
Pokemon.
The new ones haven't.
Yeah, but I was gonna say
I yes. Am I now? No.
I was gonna say like not the new ones, but you could get like Arceus, like Legends Arceus, probably maybe
right.
cheap. I
Pokemon.
don't have the physical version, or I would have sent it to you. I had the physical version of SMT5. If you want me to send it to you.
Dude, I'm gonna try to get the plane delayed so I can spend 10 hours on the flight if you give me SMT.
But yeah, I would say if it's only just for a trip, something like Mario Odyssey, you'll always have something to do, but you can always go back to it and not be like, what was I doing? Because it is go find the moons, man. Like that's it. Go find the moons, do the thing. But there's a ton of it and it's variety and it's fun. So
fair.
Court has a plus idea. Or if you want to be a sports boy, go play MLB The Show.
I am going to be. I'm going away for my trip, but I'm driving. I'm going to Detroit, Michigan, Rock City, and I'm going to be bringing my PS5, 100%.
You're going to bring.
I'm going to be playing Redacted while I'm there.
Ooh.
You're bringing that whole giant console with wings
to Detroit.
Yeah, I'm driving there. No, I'm not going to downtown Detroit. I'm going to Mason, Michigan. It's outside of Detroit. It's like pretty much Canada. There's Tim Hortons is right near where I'm going.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're still in Canada.
Yeah, you're fine.
You're legally still in Canada.
Yeah, you're fine. So with the thing like with the Steam Deck is it's so easy because you don't have to turn the console off to switch out your micro SD cards. You can just literally pop them in and out with the console on like the Switch where you have to take it off.
It's hot.
You have to turn it off. So
popping like it's hot.
So like if I'm, when we went to Maine and my wife was driving, I was playing something. I'm like, I don't feel like playing this anymore. Change out the micro SD card and then you're playing Nintendo 64 or whatever. So I have a variety because I am an ADHD gamer. So
fair.
Which also everyone should have a Steam Deck because it's just the best.
They do sound
I don't travel enough to care.
That's fair.
I used to bring when I used to have to travel into the office, I would get there purposefully like an hour early and sit in my car and play Persona on my Vita.
Really? That's awesome.
I beat Yukiko's her dungeon at work parking lot.
I love the Vita, man.
And I would go and play there that was way back when I first started, but
when we used to take the train
those were days.
Before I drove into PAX East and we would take the trains, I'd be
playing trains and automobiles.
Yep, planes, trains, and automobiles into Boston. We'd be playing the Switch on the train. The cool thing, the coolest thing we ever did about bringing the Switch to PAX East was this was in Bethesda at MJ O'Connor had like their like Bethesda rooms or whatever they were doing with the bars, and we were sitting in the bars, and we were sitting in the Skyrim bars ripping beers, kid. No, we weren't drinking. But
You definitely were.
the two guys, they were like waiting in line for something, and they took out their Switches and they were playing Smash Brothers, and I was like, "What are you guys doing?" They're like, "Oh, we're playing Smash Brothers." So I took out my Switch, and then I just jumped in with them, and we just played a quick round of Smash Brothers, and then they went on to go play. I don't know what they were playing, Fallout 4 or whatever.
You're like that kid where it's like, hey, you got any games on your phone?
Yeah, I was like, "Hey, what are you guys doing? You guys want to get whooped by Dark Pit? Because I'll give you a beating."
Oh, damn. Well, if you have any suggestions for travel games, make sure to let us know in the comments below at youtube.com/3dadsandaconsole. Any final thoughts for the peoples?
No.
No.
Drink Hawaiian Punch.
Do
I've
they
never
make
had
Hawaiian
Hawaiian
Punch?
I used to just have that for lunch, so I could
It
save my
honestly
lunch.
totally makes sense.
How are
I
you
would
not
anything-
diabetic like me?
I would get a red or a green Hawaiian
Just-
Punch, and then I would go do football.
Just
And that's
mainline
why
Hawaiian
How are
Punch.
you
I get-
not a diabetic?
I had no calories to burn, and I just survived. And I would save my lunch money, and I would loan it out with interest. But that's a story for another time.
Oh my god! You know what? That doesn't surprise me. That doesn't
We're the-
surprise me.
It's how it goes. But if you had fun, make sure to rate us 5 stars on your podcast
You
platform.
out here
choice.
running the cafeteria like a mob boss? Like, hey, if someone wants to go get me a very fine apple juice, I'll pay you to go get it.
There was no
Have one for yourself. Hey kid.
there was
have
no
one for yourself.
repercussion. But the juice was 200. All right.
The juice is loose.
The juice is loose. Give me the juice.
But if you had fun, make sure to rate us 5 stars on your podcast platform of choice. Check us out on Twitter at 3dadspod. We have some more things coming up very soon. Once shipment is made to Canada, and then we'll be talking to you next week. I will be out, but Pez and Court's sultry tones will be invading your eardrums. So enjoy.
Jesus. It's a lot of pressure.
That's
That
what
is
I
a lot
do.
of pressure. Okay, bye.